Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy life to listen to a new podcast about cryptids, UFOs, and the paranormal. Or everything that is bizarre and anything that bumps in the dark. This is an open door topic podcast. Everything is welcome here. This is another great story from Phantoms and Monsters. Allegedly around Thanksgiving night in 2020. This takes place in Lee County, Florida. So, this has been going on for about a few months now, but this is what happened so far. The first night, this all started a few months ago. I woke up in the morning by something tapping on my window to my bedroom. Sounded like fingernails across the glass. Lightly tapping, but enough to wake me up. I woke up in the middle of the night, made some coffee, grabbed a glass of water, and went outside and sat down and had a smoke. I heard something odd, some little odd noises. Then I heard some weird clicking sounds, not cicada or grasshoppers. I'm used to those. Then about 5 minutes later, growling sounds, very deep but short. This was about 3 a.m. in the morning. The coffee was done about 20 minutes later, so I grabbed a cup and went back outside to my porch. I took my first sip, and then I heard this blood-curdling scream about 150 feet behind my porch. Maybe to the next block over, not really sure. I finished my cup of coffee, and I walked inside. Just as I opened my glass sliding door, something attacked my porch door. It beat the hell out of it for almost 5 minutes straight and scared the hell out of me. I rushed back inside and waited about 20 minutes looking out the kitchen window to see if I can see anything out there. Being that is my backyard and it's completely dark, I'm not sure what I was really expecting, but I gave up waiting or went back outside. I sat down and I hear what sounds like my neighbor's aluminum fence getting the crap beat out of it. I'm looking on my side of the house, and there's nothing. I don't see anything. I guess that it went to the other side of the property to beat the hell out of the panels. It stopped quickly, and then that was it. No noise for the rest of the morning. Fast forward 2 months on Thanksgiving 2020. I am woken up again around 3 a.m. to some nails scratching or tapping on my window. Not really sure. Just heard noise. It was my window. And my dog hasn't even barked either time. I'm very suspicious of this. I don't know if it's scared or what's going on with my dog. But I'm trying to make my way outside. I grab my phone and pick it up just in case there's something. And so I decided to call one of my buddies and wake him up in the middle of the night. Just so he is on the phone with me if something happens. Someone is aware of the situation. So I inform him of what was happening prior to Thanksgiving. I don't have a clue, and he doesn't have a clue. And keep in mind, we both grew up in these woods well before the internet was invented, and we played every day in the woods. About 2 hours goes by, and the sun is up enough that I can kind of make out the shape in the tree lines behind my house. It was about 5.5 feet tall, just standing there in this position, not moving for a good solid 45 minutes. I managed to get a picture of it, but it was very poor quality. The rest of the day and night will live with me forever. About an hour and a half later, I heard this tree branch snap off and something crash into the ground. Something heavy. No mistaking that sound for like a tree falling over. Turns out the tree on the edge of my neighbor's property, about 25 feet up in the air, a large branch was broken. The branch was about 5 inches in diameter. It was just twisted off and snapped like a twig, just hanging there on the side of the tree. It didn't even touch the ground. It was about 12 feet long. So me being curious, I decided to have a look into the woods and see if I could see anything. I saw there's a few human trails often used, maybe 2 to 3 small animal game trails, and then a really crappy makeshift trail that was with broken trees littering the outline of it on the side of the trail. Quite a bit of big stuff to climb over, logs piled. Throughout the years, I have seen a few TP shapes that I felt that were just odd and misplaced. And I've seen a few grass beds throughout the woods over the recent years. But none of them really looked that comfortable, except for one that was near my property line that looked a little fresh than others. So after I got done exploring, I go inside for a drink and go out to my garage where I can work on some stuff I've been doing for a while. We recently moved to this house, so stuff isn't quite unpacked yet. As I'm going through some of the boxes in here in my garage, I then suddenly hear a large ruckus coming from this small acre of land across the street from me. And there's something big moving through these palmetto bushes, and there was a large dead tree knocked over right beside the property line. Almost as like it knocked it over and opened it up just so it could get the grubs inside of the tree, inside the dead tree, I assume. The sound quickly went away. I heard whatever it was run north towards the canal, which was super close, maybe 90 feet from my driveway. Fast forward to about 10 p.m. at night. I'm still in my garage, but the door is closed this time. I accidentally banged the front of the garage door, and I heard something on the other side of it bang back. Me thinking that it was my kids, being that they are teenagers, so I banged again. And then I heard this really loud growl. I then ran out of my garage and through the house to the outside part. The trash cans are open, and my Thanksgiving turkey carcass, which was in a box, has been taken. But then I get this rancid smell that was just very potent, and I followed the smell into my backyard, and as I was walking towards there, I called my buddy who has seen some stuff in the past in the woods that I called the other night, and he tells me to be calm and move very slowly. Then get on my porch and turn off my porch light. As I'm sitting there smoking a cigarette, I hear my bushes on the corner of the house being brushed loudly. I turn around to hear something large trample the grass down on the side of my yard. The neighbor's dog is going crazy at this point, barking at it, whatever it is. So this time, I'm not going to be stupid enough to investigate and chase it into the street where it's going to go. I'm going to stay on my porch and wait a little bit and see how this plays out. All of a sudden, then, this big 6-foot plus, maybe 7-foot, blackish thing runs from one side of the yard of my house to the other side, and then across behind my neighbor's house. His security light kicks on immediately, and it ducked behind their above ground pool, which it crouched over, and I could still see it. It had reddish brown fur, large eyes, twice the width of mine easily, 400 to 500 pounds, no hair on his nose though. And at this point it was maybe 10 to 15 feet from me. The light turned off and it ran back into the woods. I haven't seen it since. Then again, I haven't really been outside at this point. I try to stay inside at all times, especially during the night now. There could be more to come. I hope there isn't, but I've been recommended to get some game trails and cameras and some sensor lights to light up every corner of my yard and my house. So that is what I'm going to be doing.